Best of r/Tales from Retail episode 109. Subscribe for Reddit videos daily. The retail store I work in are quite small, so there's only one cashier, me, working at a time on most days. I have a large line and am of course trying my best to get through it. An older, like early 50s, woman gets to my lane and she practically throws her items down on the counter. It was about 100 tiny cans, roughly 10 of each type but none in each order. So I have to organize them before scanning. I get it all scanned and she says there better be amount of cans. I show her the screen proving that the correct amount was there. She then practically shouts there's supposed to be $2.32 per can. I once again show her that they are in fact $2.32. I get all her items bagged and she pulls a cloth bag from her purse. I wanted them this bag. I'm getting annoyed at this point, so I replied, I'm sorry, I wasn't even aware that you brought your own bag. She threw it down on the counter and I put all her items in the new bag. I then give her the total. That'll be $32.68 please. She hands me $42.58. I didn't think much of it because people give me weird amounts all the time. I give her change back and she starts yelling, for real this time? I thought you said 58. I did not. I'm sorry. I show her the receipt. What am I supposed to do with 90 cents? I am trying my best not to laugh. If you'd like you can give me 10 more cents, but it will take a few minutes because my manager has to use her key to get the drawer back open. I then call my manager over and wait a few minutes as my line grows and everyone is looking pissed at the older lady. As soon as my manager comes over, the lady starts freaking out about how I lied to her and didn't give her her correct change. I casually replied, but I didn't. You misheard me, but now I'm getting you your change. My manager doesn't even say anything and just opens the drawer and hands me the dollar. The lady then stands there for another 5 minutes checking her items and if I stole them while I'm trying to check out my next customer. She leaves and the two ladies in line saying to TS laughing and said, wow, I hate people like that. Not the most eventful customer I've had personally or seen on here, but I hope it was worth the read. Forgot to add that if you do the math it's clearly way off. I wrote BS numbers for the sake of the story and was too lazy. Sorry for the confusion. Thank you. Next. This happened a while back, but remembering it always makes me smile. At my work it gets unbearably packed, to the point that the line to the registers wraps around the back of the store and you can't move anywhere without having to get out of someone's way. I was the fitting room person and I had a huge line going on. All my rooms were full. And at every turn I was having a customer ask for a new size, a question about getting something online, and I still had to push for our rewards program all at the same time. It can be overwhelming when a customer decides to be rude during this time. However, this was a time when every customer was very appreciative of what I would do for them. I had an older woman come up to me and wish to order something online, which I could do with a handheld device. This device can also purchase things in a store, so you do not have to go wait in line at the registers, except we do not tell people this because then we would be wasting all our time helping customers buy things on the floor. So I helped this customer out with ordering something at the same time that another middle-aged man was asking questions about some sizes for his daughter and a jacket he had. So I checked for him as well and he was loitering around the fitting room waiting for his daughter to finish trying on clothes. The older woman I helped got the item she needed online, and then she has one shirt and she asked me if there was any way she can buy it with me and skip the line. I'm very used to telling customers this is not possible, even as I feel bad doing it, except she was in a rush and she was very happy about how I ordered something online for her. The fitting room was starting to empty, but the line at the registers was curving around the entire store. I felt a little bad because she only wanted one small shirt. So I told her I would do it for her, but she needed to keep it a little hush-hush. At this point the only other person in the fitting room was that older man I had helped, and after I finished helping her buy her item I went to the front and grabbed a plastic bag so she could put her shirt in it so it wouldn't look like she just walked out with it. The woman was so grateful she gave me a hug. Then she thanked me over and over and told me, it is so wonderful when someone actually gives very good customer service. And the man was right there and he agreed and said, you give wonderful service, thank you so much. Right, single quotation mark. And they were basically praising me together and making me very shy about it because I felt what I had done was no big deal. I often go out of my way for customers that I can tell are in a rush, or have had an overwhelming day, or just genuinely need the help. I'll spend forever running around finding everything someone wants and they won't even say thank you after, and it usually never bothers me, except being thanked properly, being told I did a good job. I felt like I was doing something good at my job even though all I do is scan clothes and find clothes for people. It means so much when someone notices I am working hard to get what they want done. And she hugged me too. It's very strange to get hugged by a stranger, but she was so grateful I was not bothered and was very flattered instead. Just wanted to say that a good customer experience warms my heart. I never feel like I'm very good at my job, but when a customer tells me they can see I am trying for them, then it means the world to me. A good experience far outweighs any bad one I've had. Thank you. Next. I'm a front-end manager at a fairly busy grocery store. Few cashiers came to me and said they don't feel comfortable with registers all open back to back because of how close they are. So we decided to just do every other register to help with social distancing. Not ideal but necessary given the circumstances. Because most orders are large orders, we said we didn't need an express lane. Anyone that needed that could go to self-checkout. It was a busy day. Line for checkout ended up near the back of the store, but it only looked bad because we have one person at a register at a time plus everyone is 6 feet apart. As I'm directing people to registers, a lady with a bag of apples comes up and tries to get in line. Of course I give the speech I've said 500 times already and I say the line is down there, you have to wait or go to self-checkout, which is much less of a wait. She replies, I have one item, where is your express line? Again, I explain, most orders are large, you're more than welcome to go to self-checkout and someone there can help you if you need it. She thinks she's so clever when she pulls the, well, wouldn't it be safer to get me and all the small orders out of the store faster? At this point I've already directed a few more people in line and I reply with, it would be safer, but the safest thing would be you not shopping at all because you need one thing. Don't come shopping for one thing unless it's an emergency. Stay home. She couldn't believe that I didn't care about her one item sale. That would have no effect on my paycheck whatsoever, and I'd rather most of these people not come shopping at all during this time. Thank you. Next. I'm sure every last person here has faced this before. The customers who act like stores should be 100% stocked 100% of the time. I worked in a clothing store in the past and one thing which bothered me is dealing with customers who want an item we don't have. Them. Hey, do you have item? Me, we're sold out. Them, do you have any in the back? Me, we don't. Them, are you sure? Me, yes. Them, when will you guys get more? Me, I'm not sure. I'm not in charge of ordering merchandise, and when we do get shipments there's no guarantee we're getting every item in it. Them, but your website says you have it. Me, our website doesn't say our store stock, it shows our online store. Them, how can they have it but you guys don't? Me, the online store is a warehouse. They have a giant location to store every item in boxes. We're limited in space. Them, but I came in a past date, and you guys had it. Me, chances are it's sold out in that time. We've had many customers shopping here since then. Some items I find out from the manager we'll have in the afternoon. Me, I spoke to my manager and they said we'll have this item in the afternoon once the shipment truck comes. Them, I can't wait that long. I came from another city, or even country. Today's the only, or last, day I'm in town. Them, do you know if competitor has the item in stock? Me, I'm not sure, you could check and find out. Them, don't you know what they have? Me, no, I don't work there. Them, aren't you affiliated with them? Me, no, they're our competitor. Them, but they sell the same things, don't they? Thank you. Next. So I worked at a popular clothing store for just over a couple of years and had my fair share of crazy customers. But when people ask me what's the weirdest thing I had to deal with, this comes to mind first. I was upstairs in the children's section walking out of the stockroom and heading to the elevator when a lady stopped me halfway. She goes, "Excuse me, where is your women's section?" So I replied, "It's downstairs." She looks at me all confused and perplexed. She says, "But you don't have a downstairs." I wasn't sure what to say at that point. This argument was taking place literally 5 feet away from the escalator. So I pointed to said escalator and said, "Yay, it's just that way." She turns around, looks at the escalator, then looks back at me and says, "But you've never had a downstairs." At this point she looks a mixture of confused and irritated and is talking to me as if I'm stupid. I really didn't know what to say at this point, so I paused for a couple seconds before replying. "Well, we do now." She stares at me for like 3 seconds before turning around and getting on the escalator that would take her to this mythical land of downstairs. And I just stood there for the next 10 seconds wondering what the hell just happened. Edit. Some further clarifications. The store is a 2-level store and always has been. It's located in a huge mall. The top level is for men's and children's clothing, and the bottom level is for women's. Each level connects with an entrance to the rest of the mall, but we have our own escalator and elevator inside the store to allow customers to move between our 2 levels only. The elevator is hard to find and all the way in the corner, but the escalator is right in the middle and hard to miss. We only sell clothing and are one of, if not the biggest clothing retailers in the world. Most of our stores in the country have more than 1 level. The argument took place right in front of the escalator, and there is no basement level for the store nor the mall. Thank you. Next. Same electronics store as the other 2 stories. I stopped working there last October, 2019, but this story will be forever in my memory because it annoyed me like nothing before. Also, the guy admitted to being a junkie. It's no name calling or anything, and him being a junkie isn't that important to the story anyway. At least not mainly because this is something that also happens with non-junkie customers. Cast is me, M, junkie, J, co-worker / male cash desk employee, C, store manager, S. So, J was a kinda regular at this time in the store, around fall 2018, maybe already winter, nearing the end of the year anyway, and our S always asked us to keep an eye on him because he was behaving kinda suspicious. We always did that with strange customers because our store was located in a train station and sadly there were all kind of mentally ill / drunken / junkie / strange customers, so the moment something rang our alarms we alerted S and kept an eye without the customers noticing. Like me, standing at the entrance and greeting entering customers but still glancing at the strange customers out of the corner of my eyes or turning my head a few times in quiet moments to see what they're doing. We also prevented quite a few thieves like that, so it paid off. Jay's behavior was always kinda off, which is why we highly suspected him being a junkie. Sometimes he also came with a friend with some beer in hand and stuff. Also his speaking was slow, kinda slurring. We didn't do any type of ignoring or been mad or anything if he or other strange customers had questions. We always helped the best we could with that they still might buy something, so if they need help they're like all other customers mindset. Well, said DJ entered alone. Nothing unusual. I had a morning shift for once. I remember it being between 10-11 am. Cause at 11 am the second cash desk employee came in most of the time and it was before that, just me and male cash desk employee at the entrance. Me and C immediately started to monitor the guy. We knew the drill by then and no one really entered or left the store that time, so we had nothing much to do. I'm no morning girl, so I was really sleepy. Suddenly I noticed Jay opening a box for a laptop charger. We had them hanging on a shelf. They were €10-30, depending on the model. Just the chargers for the laptops though. We don't allow customers opening boxes out of danger of small parts getting lost, but we gladly open the boxes for them if they want to try it out. Especially for laptop chargers since it's often difficult to find the correct replacements. So I went to Jay and greeted him with my best customer smile and told him it's actually not allowed to open boxes for customers, but I can do it for him if he wanna try the charger. He accepted, so I opened the box and asked him which laptop he needs the charger for. I can't remember the brand, but he said it was from other big electronics store, but they didn't have a charger, so he came to us to look. Well, I knew the charger wouldn't work for his laptop. He still thought one of the plugs might fit. So I showed him they don't. Jay then pointed to one of the Acer laptops on displays and said his charger looked kinda like this. I told him I don't really know about the chargers, but if he goes to the service desk they might find a fitting one for him online. He then said he even has the laptop in question with him, if I recall correctly, or at least suddenly remembered the brand or something. Anyway, he went to the queue of the service desk, still with the charger in hand. I asked him if I could pack it back up and put it back since it doesn't fit anyway, and he accepted okay. TBH, he had a should bag and I was a bit afraid he might just put a single plug or something in his bag. Bad of me, I know, but that's how I'd have reacted for anyone since the plugs are not mounted to anything and very small. I put the charger back where it belonged and went back to my place in the store. Still took a look here and there to Jay to see what he was doing. Only saw him doing something in his bag. Didn't think too much of it. Suddenly he turned around, came to me and asked about other stores he could ask at and left the store. Didn't think anything of it, everything normal. Shortly afterwards Jay came back to the store. Took note of the white earphones, the big, over-ear ones, he was suddenly wearing and told me Jay might have stolen them from us when he was at the store before. So I took a as close as possible look from afar at the headphones and told C that this is not one of our brand headsets but a brand that's special of other big electronics store, where I worked before, so I knew they're in-house brands. We shrugged it off. Jay left again shortly after. I thought that would be it. But no. 2-3 hours later a colleague responsible for the laptops on display noticed one of the Acer laptops was missing. Well, shit. It was clearly stolen, and so we checked the surveillance cameras. Turned out Jay plugged it off without the alarm device going off. Some of our alarms are broken without us noticing, sadly. Yeah, it happens. Nothing we can do anyway in most of those cases. We just write it off as a loss and as the central department's fault because they are the ones that choose the alarm plugs and don't replace/check them regularly enough. But in this case we identified and knew the thief. For some reason I think we even had his name or something. Not too sure how the next stuff started to happen anymore, but we seem to have made a complaint to the police. I knew nothing of all this stuff, only that we knew who the thief was and to alert us if he was spotted entering the shop. 1-2 days later I got a sudden call during work from an unknown number, which rarely happens, and I wasn't waiting for a call from anyone. Strange, but I went to the back and took it. Believe me, I got the shock of my life when I had a police inspector on the other end suddenly. My heart started racing and I was so damn confused. But he was really nice and told me my S was supposed to tell me. C apparently said I saw Jay stealing the laptop, so he wanted to talk to me as a witness and if I had time the next day. I went to check with S if I can do that during work hours. S was sorry he forgot to tell me and said that's more than okay, so I told the police inspector I'd come in. The police station was on the outside of the train station anyway, so it was no issue. I went in the next day and told them I didn't see anything. Yes, I talked to Jay a bit about a charger, but I never saw him unplugging the laptop and I can't remember him putting a laptop into his bag or walking out with it. Our surveillance cameras are really crappy quality, but there was a chance, from what was visible, that Jay had the laptop under his arm while talking to me before he left the store. Ugh, you can believe me. I felt so damn horrible and guilty after seeing the pic from surveillance and hearing about it. I really, honestly, really didn't notice the apparent laptop. But both the police inspector and my S told me not to feel guilty. It can happen, and since I suspected Jay having his laptop with him, I probably just ignored the laptop under his arm. And we didn't even know if that was a stolen one or his own. In fact, nothing happened to me too. No penalty or anything. So I marked the story as done and over. Oh boy, I was so wrong. A bit later I got a letter saying to come into court because of Jay as a witness one more time. Ugh, I was so annoyed and angry at that. Thank you. Next. Today I was working self-check, as usual, at the grocery store where I work. There are 6 lanes, one of which is right in front of me at the front kiosk. So a guy comes up to start using it. He starts to engage me in conversation, something about sports, which I know absolutely nothing about, so I just said things like aha, wow, etc. Thing is, the whole time he is talking, thinking I give a damn about what he's saying, he is putting things into bags without scanning them, right in front of my face. The kiosk showed he had scanned 4 items and like 11 things were in there, so I had to stop his story and explain that 7 things didn't scan. Of course I get the oh, I didn't know. So then he starts scanning the stuff, and now I'm watching every move he makes. Then, at the end when he was done, believe it or not, he put all the bags in his cart and proceeds to start to leave the store without paying. I had been helping another customer but fortunately finished quickly and called for him. Sir, were you going to pay for all of that? Oh, I thought I did already. No, it shows you owe $sign on the screen still. And so he paid and left. He was either thinking I was dumb as a cardboard box or he was